Alright. Hey, Mish! Alright, now we have the Whoopie Sling video. Actually, this is a front yard hang on a beautiful March 5th. It's real crazy cloudy and has rained off and on a little bit today. But here is a Whoopie Sling that I made. I made 3 of them. If you want to find out, there are a lot of marriage tests. One marriage test is to take your wife and your dog and put them in the trunk of your car for an hour. And then when you open the trunk, who is happy to see you? But this is sort of a neat marriage test, an accidental marriage test. My wife's office is near a West Marine, and I asked her if she would drop by and pick me up some 7 64ths inch AmSteel Blue in red, and she got me 50 feet. She had to order it. Now that part was unfortunate, but here I'll show you the one of the Whoopie Slings that I made. So no tripod, just handheld. This is the small loop, the non-movable loop, and it goes back and forth. I don't know all the fancy nautical terms, but it goes back and forth in there. And then the tail end is buried here, and you can see where that is. It's gets fat there. And this is where the adjustable loop exits. Now this was sort of red. I've put a lot of red on my hands. My hands have turned sort of pink working this rope. So here's the Whoopie Sling. It's really close, so it's hard for the thing to focus. And here is the adjustable loop right here. Alright, so as a marriage test, if your wife will go and buy you 50 feet of AmSteel Blue in red, that's a pretty good marriage test. She loves you if she does that. Alright, there it is attached to the end of my ripstop hammock that I made recently. And here's the end of the closed loop, and you can see how that's pulled tight. There's the Ron Paul sign in the front yard. And here's the end where it exits. This is the loop begins in just a little bit and then comes all the way back here, and this is the tail end of the loop. So you pull this through and it tightens the loop. Now here is the beginning of the loop. Here you see that, and it comes all the way up, and you can tell redneck from South Carolina using not even an old spark plug, but a spark plug that was the wrong size for the lawnmower. And here's some arbor, A-R-B-O-R, strapping for trees and things. So I've sewn a little bit there to make a loop, and hopefully that will pull through. It's decent polyester thread. And here's a big pine tree. So you live in a place called Forest Acres, and eventually you'll find out you got all these poisonous pine trees that offend in every season. Alright, and here's more of the arbor strapping, and this is going to be the stretchy side. So that's our emergency car right there. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm going to bear with me. Alright. So you can tell where the stretch is. And the stretch is all on the head end, which is the arbor strapping. But this is a view from inside the hammock. Now, the resources I used to make the Whoopie Slings, I made 3 of them out of that 50 feet of 7 64ths inch AmSteel Blue. It holds 1,600 pounds. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, the resources I used is, if you go, Samson Rope is who makes AmSteel, or the other way around, AmSteel makes Samson Rope. Either way, you go to the just Google Samson Whoopie Sling, and they have a PDF file on their website that shows you how to make them. That's how popular this has become. And the other thing that I used for demonstration of, hey, you need to get one, these are the coolest things in the world, Shug Emery's series of videos on YouTube. And then to how to actually make it, there's a great multiple person channel, USFRAME crew, on YouTube, and they have a two-part video on how to make the Whoopie Sling. So I made the Whoopie Sling using a ballpoint pen, the long straight section of a regular wire coat hanger, and some Scotch tape. And I cut about maybe a foot plus out of the long part of the coat hanger, and then I used the stone that we actually used to sharpen knives in the kitchen, to smooth one of the tips, so it wouldn't cut into the fibers or wouldn't get hung up. And then I just followed the directions, just like the USFRAME crew did, and just like the Samson Whoopie Sling PDF file tells you how to do it. I made the Whoopie Sling. So it took me about an hour and a half, but I was watching that Air Alaska thing on Discovery or the Hitler Channel or one of those things, so I was half paying attention and half working it. And even though the stuff was pretty bright red on purchase, it ended up being sort of pink after working it. So I think the actual virgin fiber that they use is white. And it's really hard to cut. First time I cut it, I used a carbon steel cleaver and had to really work harder than a reasonable person should have to get it to work. And then I used some EMT emergency shears to do the other part, and that worked a little bit better. And the only advice I would give if you are going to do this is when you are back threading or pulling the fibers back into the rope through the center, I would go ahead and open up the rope about an inch and cut opposing fibers, half of them out, and then I would take those opposing fibers and using the Scotch tape, and Scotch tape worked fine, start the Scotch tape naked against the coat hanger and then introduce the fibers and wrap it tight. And I only had one time where it pulled loose, and that was operator error. It was my fault. So it really does work well, and I encourage you to make the Whoopie Slings. I'm going to get proper toggles and proper strapping, and this will work a lot better. But this is a view from the hammock, and I think a hammock is a good emergency shelter, casual shelter. I'm tired of hiking. I need a rest shelter. So I've made a couple hammocks too, and I'm very happy. And I'm very happy with the hammocforums.net, I believe. Just Google hammock forums. I ended up donating a little bit of money to them because the information is that valuable. All right, YouTubers, that's all I got for right now.